So we all like our scary movies, whether it's Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, or slasher films like Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another classic slasher film is Scream. Not the biggest horror movie franchise, but definitely one of the most well known. And sadly, these two teenage boys got their inspiration from Scream to end up killing one of their friends and planned to kill more classmates. This is an old case, but it is still very disturbing. We're gonna dive into the crime of Cassie Jo Stoddart, the 16-year-old girl that was killed and stabbed to death by her own friends, Torey Adamcik and Brian Draper.
We're going for a high death count.
We're not going not to get caught, Brian. If we're going for guns, we're just going to end it. We're just going to grab the guns and get out of there and kill everybody and leave.
We're going to make history. We're going to make history.
Now, Brian Draper and Torey Adamcik met at Potacello High School, and they became fast friends over their shared interest in horror films. And one horror movie they loved was the Scream franchise. Now, in September 2006, at the beginning of their junior year, the teens decided that they were going to make their own film. Now, it wasn't going to be an innocent type of film or a class project. Instead, this was going to be a document of their real-life murder of killing their classmates one by one. The boys even created their own death list and potential targets, and Cassie Jo Stoddart was at the top of their list. Now, a key evidence that led to the conviction of these two killers was their whole documentary of the timeline that led up to the killing of Cassie. They would film themselves talking about what they were planning on doing, showing no remorse.
What we're supposed to happen tonight, so hopefully nothing will go wrong. Everything will go smoothly, and we can get our first kill done, started, and we can keep going.
Now, Brian and Torey originally planned to kill Cassie and her boyfriend, Matt Beckham. They were just waiting for the perfect opportunity, and sadly that opportunity came.
We're gonna go to that church over there, and we're gonna call a girl and a guy named Cassie and Matt. They're our friends, but we have to make sacrifices, so I feel tonight it is the night, and I feel really weird, inside my stomach and stuff, and I feel like I want to kill somebody. I know that's not normal, but what the hell?
I feel we need to break away from normal life.
How bright is this light?
Now, Cassie Stoddart was house sitting for her aunt and uncle while they were away. Cassie then invited her boyfriend and Brian and Torey as well because they were friends. This is when the two teen killers saw their opportunity to put their plans into motion.
We're gonna go down in history. We're gonna be just like Scream, except real life terms. We're gonna be murderers.
Good, baby.
Like, let's see, Ted Bundy, like the Hillside Strangler,
No.
the Zodiac Killer.
Those people are more amateurs compared to what we're gonna be. We're gonna be more of higher sources of
Gene. Well, except for that sick and that twisted.
The saddest part, though, is this is what they filmed that same day of Cassie in school, getting her on camera before they kill her later that night.
Hey, look, it's Cassie.
Hey, look,
Hello, Cassie. I'm getting you on tape, okay? Say hi, please.
Hi.
Okay, see ya. Wait, have you seen Torey? He's supposed to meet me here at 7:30, and it's 8:19. He's an hour late. You don't even care, do you? Okay, see ya.
So while the four teens were hanging out at Casey's aunt's house, Brian and Torey said that they were going to leave to go see a movie. But before they left the house, one of them sneaked downstairs to unlock the basement door. Rather than go to the movies, Brian and Torey changed into some dark clothes, wore these white masks, and grabbed the knives that they purchased from a pawn shop several weeks earlier. They then snuck back into the house through the basement door that they left unlocked. They tried to lure Cassie and her boyfriend Matt downstairs by making loud noises. Now, the initial plan failed because instead of Cassie and their boyfriend heading to the basement to investigate, Casey's boyfriend Matt Beckham called his mom to ask if he could spend the night with Casey. His mother said no, but she told him that Casey could come to their house. But Casey said no and she wanted to stay at her aunt's house. She didn't want to let them down, so Casey's boyfriend was picked up by his mother at around 10:30 p.m. The two boys will also go to the fuse box that's in the basement and they would shut off all the lights, slamming the doors and trying to scare Casey in her final moments. This is when Brian and Torey went upstairs and stabbed Casey approximately 30 times, and she quickly bled out. Shortly after, the boys fled the scene and they filmed their reactions to what they had just done.
Just killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a fucking joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. Oh, fuck. That felt like it wasn't even real. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the fuck up. We gotta get our act straight.
It's okay. Okay, let's buy movie tickets now.
Okay.
Come on. Goodbye.
No.
Goodbye.
Now, Casey's body wasn't discovered until days later, and originally the police questioned Casey's boyfriend, Matt, who they brought in for a police interview. But Matt informed authorities of exactly what happened, and told them that the other two people that was the last ones to see her alive was Brian and Torey. Now, Brian and Torey was brought in for questioning, and they had stuck to the story that they went to the movie theater, but they couldn't even describe the plot of the film that they reportedly seen. Brian Draper was the first to break. He told the police that it was all supposed to be a joke, and that he was surprised when Torey actually started stabbing Casey. Now, obviously, I don't buy that. It seems like in the videos that they made before the murder, Brian seemed very eager in the video to kill his friend, and more people in the future.
We're thinking for a documentary right now.
Oh, sorry, I just don't know.
No, it's cool, it's cool. We're just documentary, just for school projects. I guess, yeah, I guess you call it a project, right?
Yeah.
What the hell are you guys doing?
But Brian did lead the police to where they disposed of their clothes, mask, weapons, and their camera. They attempted to burn the videotapes of their confessions, but investigators were able to recover the footage and use it to charge the boys with the murder. Although they were under the age of 18, they were both tried as adults. The defense team claimed that the tape was only recorded for a horror movie that the teenagers were planning to make. Obviously, no one was buying that, and the boys were found guilty of homicide and conspiracy to commit murder. There is no doubt in my mind that they would have killed more people if they were not caught. Now, years later, there was another interview where Brian and Corey is actually older now, and they discuss what happened that night.
I was attracted to her, and I thought she was a special person. But she started going out with this other kid I knew in high school, and it kind of struck me hard, and I was like, okay, so, I am a loser. I met Torey Adamcik in sophomore year. He started talking about the movie Scream, how it'd be cool to actually do a Scream type crime. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, have you ever, thought about that? Not really. I mean, I've thought about other things like, Columbine, and he really wasn't into that. And I was like, well, I could either be alone or I could join his plan and be with him and not be alone.
To this day, Brian regrets what he's done, and so does Torey. Now, I don't know if I believe them watching these interviews, but you guys can let me know what you think.
Torey's a good kid, and Torey's just a kind person, and we're still a family. He's still every bit as much a part of our family as before.
I remember the first article I read about my case. Geez, I mean, they made me sound like this brutal, cold, psychopathic killer.
We were talking about Brian. They were making you just like Brian.
They put us like as the same person.
They lumped them together.
I only hung out with him for 6 weeks before this happened. I think it's crazy how the last week of me being on the street, being free, really has affected the rest of my life. If you were to watch that video and nothing had happened, it would literally be a joke.
September 22nd, 2006. We're skipping our 4th hour. We're writing our plan right now. I'm telling Cassie's family, but she had number 1.
Obviously, these two were trying to go down as one of the most notorious serial killers, and this was just their startup. Now let me ask you guys a question. Now, because of the boys being underage at the time, do you think that they deserve to be forgiven? Do you think that they have been or can be rehabilitated? This is just a tragic case all around, because we all know when it comes to these type of teens, whether it's a school shooter or something else, majority of the time they always seem to document what they're planning, whether they're writing their thoughts in a journal or recording themselves planning their murder. Thank you guys for watching this video. We also upload our videos on Spotify, so you can check them on there as well. And thank you guys for watching.